After posting a millionaire's bail, the Margot Robbie and Cara Delevingne companions were allowed to depart Argentina. The companions of the actress Margot Robbie and the model Cara Delevingne have been given permission to leave the country by the Justice of the City of Buenos Aires as of this Thursday. For the privilege of traveling back to the UK, cameraman Jacob Rees-Hopkins and producer Josie McNamara, who are accused of viciously attacking photojournalist Peter Orca last Sunday in front of a restaurant in the La Boca district, will have to pay 2 million pesos each. The Council of the Judiciary of the City of Buenos Aires claims that following the presentation of fresh proof and a demand for the immediate removal of the restriction measures, the prosecution's office and the defense came to an agreement to remove Hopkins and MC Namara off the travel ban. After a 2 million peso security deposit, the permission will be extended. However, the two defendants, who were with their well-known pals when Orca took pictures of them leaving the restaurant, are required to show up whenever justice is needed. Hopkins, 29, and MC Namara, 45, admitted being present when the reporter was attacked but denied being the aggressors during the hearing to determine who was responsible. As a result of the hits, Orca sustained a bleeding scalp wound and an exposed elbow fracture. Orca was having surgery when the hearing took place. In any case, Pablo Cosas, the president of Criminal, Misdemeanor and Misdemeanor Court No. 10, recognized that the prosecutor Adriana Delavigne's presence remedied the absence and that a potential meeting suspension may compromise the integrity of the legal process. Before the controversy occurred, few people were aware of Rees-Hopkins and McNamara, who traveled to Buenos Aires with Robbie and Cara Delevingne. Although it was initially believed that they were two bodyguards, as the hours passed it became clear that they were actually one of Robbie's partners and one of the technicians who often work for the production firm of Birds of Prey's lead character. "I went since I was doing a coverage when I learned that the women were here," Orca told The Nation. "I had a horrific trap and then I had a chase because they fired me. I suffered the extreme hostility after shooting some images. In an effort to safeguard her and the footage, I went with the camera in my hand. I suddenly felt someone push and kick me. I dropped to the ground quickly, but fortunately, my arm caught the ground instead of my head. I fractured my entire arm, lost a lot of blood, the bone was exposed, and the camera sailed into the air." In Orca's account, everything began when the actress and model became aware that they were being photographed and asked their friends to stop. As a result, Matas Morla, the reporter's attorney, requested that they speak in court as defendants rather than as witnesses because he believes that they share some of the blame for what occurred. They were hauled to the prosecutor's office to testify after spending 2 nights in detention at Community Police Station 4 and being charged with the crime of serious injury on Sunday morning. As soon as possible, both people were granted their freedom with a restriction barring them from leaving the country without a court order while the procedure is ongoing and withholding their passports. Aside from that, each of the 200,000 peso bones was a real one. The 4 participants promptly communicated their version of events to the British and American media, despite remaining elusive to the press while on Argentinian land. The 2 detainees told the police that the photographer was responsible for his own injuries because the celebrities had not given their permission to be photographed, according to the Sun newspaper. Orca was the one who hounded Robbie and Delevingne, endangering their safety, according to the U.S. website TMZ. According to the media's account, after the photographer entered the actress's space while they were on the street trying to hail a cab, their friends tried to assist them. Orca was the one who hounded Robbie and Delevingne, endangering their safety, according to the U.S. website TMZ. Always according to the media's version of events, their friends tried to assist them after a photographer entered their personal space while they were trying to board a taxi on the street. The cab got afraid and started as the celebrities attempted to board. The Australian felt threatened by this and jumped out of the moving car to protect himself. This information matches the version on the Just Jared website. As it was reported, as Robbie and Delevingne exited the restaurant, They were in peril. They had an Uber waiting to pick them up, but things quickly turned dangerous, he wrote. Margot apparently had to leap out of the car to prevent getting hurt, and the photographer proceeded to shoot pictures of her while she lay on the ground. Nearby friends volunteered to help right away. The plan of the two buddies and their male pals was to stay in Buenos Aires for a few days before heading to Patagonia. In light of speculations that his fellow cast member in the movie Suicide Squad would be experiencing a serious crisis, it is assumed that Robbie planned the trip to cheer him up. These claims got started after a picture of a filthy, lost, and unbalanced Cara Delevingne circulated on the internet and alarmed his fans. She was wearing a shabby casual clothing with a Britney Spears t-shirt, black joggers with stripes in the colors of the Rastafarian movement, and no shoes as she waited for a flight in Los Angeles after attending the Burning Man festival in the California desert. She had visible black bags under her eyes, bruises all over her body, and worsened psoriasis symptoms. Concerns about Cara Delevingne's behavior and mental health. He reportedly arrived for the trip 2 hours late and was refused permission to travel because of his unstable state. From J. Private Z's plane, guests unpacked their belongings, and he afterwards drove away from the airport in a black van. Cara previously brought up her physical and mental health.